Riot Blockchain completing its acquisition of Whinstone US, the owner and operator of North America's largest Bitcoin mining and hosting facility. Jason Les is Riot Blockchain CEO and joins us this morning. Jason, appreciate the time. Good to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate the opportunity.
I wonder if you've been rattled at all about either Fed speak about crypto or Elon Musk's tweets about sustainability or the price action in Bitcoin itself over the last couple of months.
Yeah, Bitcoin's always been volatile. I've been involved with Bitcoin for a very long time. I've been up and down the roller coaster. So it's something I'm very comfortable with at this point. I'm a believer in the long-term utility of Bitcoin. So while the volatility is exciting, sometimes good, sometimes bad, I try not to let it cloud the bigger focus of what's going on here. You're right. There's a lot of talk about Bitcoin mining and energy lately. It's a common criticism about Bitcoin, but I think the message that's not told enough here is how the close relationship that Bitcoin mining has with renewable energy. Bitcoin miners use renewable energy more so than any other major industry or commercial application out there. And I think that's a story that needs to be told a lot more. I had the opportunity this past weekend, myself, a few other Bitcoin mining CEOs, had a conversation with Michael Saylor and Elon Musk talking about this. We were talking about what we're doing as an industry. And I think you're going to see a lot more public Bitcoin miners talking about their energy consumption and helping to tell this story and set the record straight.
Right. Is that going to be a North American conversation? Is it going to include any players who mine in China? And if not, are we left with sort of that classic climate discussion, which is you can do all you want at home, but unless the world as a whole agrees on these standards, then it's not really going to move the needle?
Well, I think it should be a worldwide discussion, Carl. I think Bitcoin is a global phenomenon. Bitcoin mining is all over the world. And I encourage Bitcoin miners all over the place to talk about their energy consumption and talk about how much renewable you use. And even in China, a lot of Bitcoin miners are using hydroelectric power. Energy is the #1 production cost for Bitcoin miners. So we're all very incentivized to find the cheapest power possible. And a lot of the Bitcoin mining in China is powered by hydroelectric power because there's that underutilized renewable infrastructure. Of course, there's a lot of coal as well. But what we've been seeing recently is certain regions in China cracking down on Bitcoin miners that are operating in a lot of coal-heavy regions, but I mean, fairly all regions in China. So I suspect a growing trend we're going to see is more Bitcoin mining hash rate moving out of China, moving all over the world. But I expect we're going to see a big growth here in North America, a big growth here in the United States because of how much renewable energy is being developed here and the opportunity that gives for Bitcoin miners.
Jason, in your conversation... Sorry, Carl. Go ahead.
No, LP, it's your turn.
Oh, Jason, I was curious, in your conversations with Elon Musk, whether he seemed more open to embracing Bitcoin in a bigger way, since you pointed out the sustainability element to it and the move toward more renewable sources of electricity. Did he seem willing to make another about face here?
Well, I mean, I don't want to speak for anyone. I think Elon is, based on all the statements he's made and based on what Tesla has done using Bitcoin as a treasury management tool, I believe Elon is a believer in Bitcoin. I think the tweets we've seen recently is really just him pointing out the criticism. So in our conversation with him, his advice was to be more transparent about what's going on and, help tell the story so the critics don't have this type of ammunition. It's, the thing about Bitcoin is it's so transparent, and that's a good thing. But the bad thing is the downside to that is it's very easy for people to make an educated guess on how much energy consumption it's using. But you don't see that in other industries, right? Like no one has a very accurate measurement of how much energy video games use, how much energy social media uses, et cetera. But those are still worthwhile applications. So I think his advice for us and, something we've already been working on heavily as public company CEOs is just being transparent about energy mix so we can get this story more mainstream about our relationship with renewable sources.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.